So this confidence thing, I'm understanding it as because I'm realizing now that my hesitation from moving into direction of posting my own recordings of um, my meditation sessions is because the hesitation comes from me trying to be like others. And I guess Spirit is saying you're not meant to be like others. You're supposed to be out there and just, you know, you're not going to be the same because you're not made the same, and you're not intended to be the same. You're intended to be different. So don't post because it sounds familiar. It sounds okay. It sounds that people would expect it, right? It sounds as people wanted to hear it or how people are doing it. That's not what you're here for. You're here to show people that being different is okay, and you're here to shine a light in a different way, not the same way as everybody else has been shining the light. And my confidence in the sense of me having insecurities about probably the way I speak, about, sometimes I make mistakes in the recording, and like I don't use the right words, and um, sometimes I curse a lot, or I feel like the cursing might not be accepted, that insecurity. But this is where Spirit is saying you are perfect as you are with your imperfections. Remember that. I need to remember that I'm perfect in my imperfections. And this is not about me sounding right, sounding correct, sounding educated, sounding a certain way. It's about me putting out the message there where people are able to receive it. That's it. And me shining a light on me so that people are able to see me move a way that God would like them to move as. And I'm not going to do that if I want to blend in with everybody, because that light is going to be dimmed by me not being authentic to myself and just joining the whole, you know, just blending myself with a group or some way of doing things. And it's not the intention of the universe, it's not the intention of Father for me to blend in. He never wanted me to blend in. He wanted me to be a star, to shine bright, and have people see me like that. And I need to be comfortable with that. And now I remember a message by someone who said you need to learn to be comfortable with being judged and not care about what those judgments are about. So I guess what I'm trying to say as well is I'm realizing now that I'm never going to be without insecurities. One, two, it's okay to have insecurities. Three is that those insecurities that you have, the more you expose them to yourself and know them, and not see them as a bad thing, but see them as a learning curve or an opportunity for you to learn to be better, to learn to speak better, to learn to speak well if you want to learn to speak well, or to learn to just be okay with it, you know, and show the other aspects of yourself, not to be so prim and proper just because you want to look the part, but be prim and proper in your own way, you know. Bring that energy of a divine feminine, a goddess, and still be in your authenticity, in a sense of you were raised a different way, and that needs to show, you know. Don't hide behind a video, in a sense of saying, I'm hiding behind my channel. I don't want them to know who I am and where I come from and how I was raised, because that's part of the story. That's part of the story that needs to go out there with everybody to understand me for me, not to understand me for what they know everyone else lives like. They need to see something that is either going to relate to them or it's going to shock them. Like, what's going on, you know? But I get the feeling that Father wants to go for a more shock effect and still a little bit of relation to relate in a way that, wow, there are actually people like me who actually have an opportunity and took an opportunity to be like her and be where she is. And if she can do it, I can do it, you know? Um, so I'm realizing now that my hesitancy comes from those type of things of insecurities, and they keep telling me that you need to move, you need to do it, you're protected, you're covered. Whatever you decide to do from here onward, anything you're going to do will turn into gold, as it used to be. I used to live a life like that. I used to have that belief, and I still do, that anything I touch turns into gold. When it stopped turning into gold is because of, for my, let me put it this way, Father kind of like allowed it to happen so that I wake up and learn my lessons of, there are people like this in the world who are going to prevent you, who might try to prevent you from reaching your goals, your destiny, and whatever, especially if I am not in your life like that. However, I'm allowing this to happen to you, or those things that happen to you, I allow them to happen to you so that you also wake up to it and learn what is it exactly these people do to steal your destiny, to prevent your destiny, to cause you confusion, to, all those things that they did, how they do it, when they do it, why they do it, to be aware, to wake up to the world and see it for the reality that it is, that as much as people say this matrix is a dream and whatnot, it's really not a dream. You are living in a real life. And this real life means people, real people who you see as presenting themselves as these good people, this perfect people who go to church and pray God and praise God, are not necessarily your friends, right? You need to wake up to that and see it for what it is. And that all the things that you have wanted to be and to do were prevented by these people because of they had ulterior motives. But also understand that God allowed it to happen so that He can use it later to build you back up. That is, to build me back up. So the burdens that I'm carrying and the insecurities that I'm carrying in terms of my experiences in life, that I feel like it's lacking here, it's lacking there, I don't speak well here, I don't behave this way and whatever. It's not necessarily a negative thing for me. It is actually what makes me unique based on my experiences of the people that I lived with and their impact on my life, where they caused me or were instrumental in building this character that I have, this person that I have, that I am today. And I need to be in a place where I appreciate that I'm unique in that essence, that I went through the shit that I had to go through. And that is my selling point. Perhaps I've read of people in the comments believing that they also have lived this life. And I don't know how they have. Most probably they did. But I feel like people relate on a different level. They don't really comprehend what it is that these tarot readers are actually talking about. That is, they hear a general statement and anybody can fit themselves under there. However, I know specifically what they're talking about because I'm going through it. I went through it and I'm still going through it. And I understand when they say, this is who you are, because I remember who I am. I remember where I come from. And they're like, you might not know this, but you have this and this and this. You have this lineages. And I'm like, oh, I don't remember the lineages. All I know is that I'm related to everybody. I'm related to every living thing, every living being in the universe. And we all are, in truth. But for me, it comes from my lineage being God's lineage, not necessarily some other God. God, the God creator lineage, which is everybody, which is every being, which is every alien, every animal, everything ever created by the Creator Himself is in me as well. So I understand that. So when they say something like, you might not know this, but you have this heritage and that heritage, previously you used to be they reminded me of some things. However, this also gives me a confirmation of no wonder I liked this and this and this and that. And I don't remember some parts about my previous life, but I do remember some other life. I remember my time in Atlantis as well, but it's brief. It's just brief. And I remembered my time in Egypt as well. I remembered my time elsewhere as well, in other, ancient times. And but when I remembered it, it comes through me as a flood of images of you've been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you've been here like ta 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 ta. And I remember seeing it's like it doesn't stick, it doesn't stay too long. It just reminded me of this is where you've been. This is what you've done. And I'm told that that I knew, but I don't remember very much previous so much. I do remember the not two lives, but the previous life before this one, before I came here. Right. I do remember where I come from before I got born here. That one I remember. But the other ones are like just flashes of memory of myself. I wasn't even in other parts. I was a man actually. I was a man. And yeah, and I'm realizing now that it doesn't matter. And I guess what I'm trying to say as well is that as long as Father's okay with me, how I sound, how I think, how wrong I am, even my sometimes the other thing is my insecurity as well is that what if I'm wrong? What if I'm saying it wrong? What if I'm not right? But then I remember saying to myself, you're gonna put it out there as to how you understand it right now. And when you understand it better, you can always update that no, it's not how it works. It's not how it works. It actually works a different way. This is how I discovered it. But this is what I know now. This is what I knew then. But this is how it actually is. This is what it means for me. And I'm understanding that now. I'm understanding that now. I know that also that it will come a time when I will release. Sometimes I don't like to force myself to do something just because of I need to rush. I feel like I'm being rushed into it. I like to just have that moment of, yeah, it's time and let's do it, and I do it. And usually it works so much better. So what I know is I'm just asking Father to help me to get it to get my first video out. And just make it as easy as it can be or as it needs to be. I think sometimes, trying to come up with themes and whatnot is also like things that take time or that distracts you from the important thing, which is to just put out the video out there. And I think I'm going to do it, but we'll see when that happens. we'll see how that happens. Yeah, confidence is key. And I think sometimes confidence needs to be I need to be confident again in God, because this is the problem. It's like sometimes your confidence is not enough. It's best to just use your confidence through God. When you are confident that God will see it through, God will make sure that God will make sure that the right people who needs to listen to it will listen to it. God will make sure that it goes to who it needs to go to. God will make sure that everything works out for you. That confidence in Him is the confidence that I need. And I need to remember that it's not about, when they say confidence, they don't mean necessarily just have a confidence of like, yeah, I've got confidence, I got confidence, and I've got confidence, and I've got confidence. They actually mean that you got confidence because of you understand the power behind you. You understand the power you have, the power behind you, the power that comes with you. That even if yours is lacking, your spirit team will make sure that their power is used to push you and push whatever it is that you create to be where it needs to be. And I'm getting that now. It's like yeah, I'm getting there. I'm going to understand what I need to understand, and then I'll probably post my new video soon, or my recording. I don't know. I'm even thinking of just posting the dark recordings, the black recordings, because I don't have like a thumbnail or something like that, and I don't have tools to use to put thumbnails on it or something like that. I've tried it, but I don't know how I'm going to convert it to have a thumbnail. Maybe I need to convert it into something, or maybe MP4. Yeah, maybe MP4, and see what happens. Anyways, let me finish the video that I was watching now.